Okay, I've got to get PowerPoint. Fit to screen. Okay. Is this... Okay, yeah, here we go. JettKuso presents the Vestroia Bulletin. Sunday, September 6th. Let's friggin' go. You might be asking some very simple questions. What's all this then? Well, let me explain. It's a news show. Huh? You might be asking yourself, what kind of news show? A Bakugan news show. Yeah, what else? Beyblade? No. What kind of things are you gonna be expecting from this news show? I'm going to be recapping in every episode the last 2 weeks worth of Bakugan specific news. All the escapism you need right here on the Vestroia Bulletin. I know Bakugan news shows are a little bit common, but this one is not going to be breaking news. My news is going to come very late, a long time after it happens. It is going to be low quality. The streams are going to be low quality. The news is going to be low quality. My personality is going to dip in quality every time I start streaming. And all of my opinions are going to be bad. This is something I can absolutely guarantee. So don't be expecting really much of anything. But it is going to happen every 2 weeks. So there's going to be, hopefully next week, I'm going to upload another proper video. And the week after that, I'm going to be doing a Vestroia Bulletin episode. So every 2 weeks. So hopefully that is going to allow me to do content every weekend. It should be every Sunday. Same Bakugan time, same Bakugan channel. So let me break down a little bit about how I intend to cover news. So, for one, not comprehensive. I am not going to be showing everything. I am not going to be covering everything because I am busy. I'm busy a lot. I have a lot of things to do. So expect a lot of stuff to sort of slip under the radar or slip straight past me. I am going to be covering both pro news and toy news. This music is so loud. Whatever. So toy news, pro news, card game news, not in too much detail, but hopefully I am going to, I'm going to give you some good stuff. I intend to be positive, but honest. I always like to cover everything with an aura of positivity, whether it's news, toys, or even stuff that I absolutely hate. I like to be positive about it, which just means being good-mannered and friendly even when I'm offering my criticism and my genuine opinions. Is there no music in the background? Is the background music so quiet that it's not even coming through? Aw, heck yeah! 1 second. I've been having background music in the whole time. I guess not. Whatever. You guys don't get music. There's going to be plenty of opinions. It's not all going to be just, straight news. I'm going to be sharing my own thoughts as we go along. And this is not an official source. I know I have worked with Spin Master a few times, but, I'm not getting paid by them for this, so I could be wrong. If I'm suggesting something, it might end up not being, true. This is not an official source, so don't blame Spin Master for any of the stuff that I say, but I am going to try to be as accurate as possible. Sometimes I may cover leaks, maybe. I don't want to use leaks as a main source of entertainment, but I do want to do a little bit. Oh, I know what happened with the music. Hang on. Let me get the music back, and then I'll continue. Because I'm, jamming over here with my news music. It's something that I think I tried to... Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now you should be getting music. Yeah! Okay. Because I've been bopping over here in the background. I didn't even know you guys couldn't hear it. Okay, yeah, sometimes leaks. I don't intend to cover leaks very often. But now and again, when they come up, if I think it isn't something that's going to damage the brand, because I think a level of leakage, at least in terms of Bakugan, isn't too harmful, but there is a point where it gets to be too much. Yeah, now you're getting the music. Okay. If I say anything wrong, if I happen to be incorrect about something, or I inaccurately source something, or anything I get wrong, I'm going to post corrections in the comments. I'll probably have a pinned comment with a list of about 25 things that I got totally wrong in the presentation. But hopefully, I'm going to be right as much as possible. If I'm wrong, let me know. And without further ado, let's get on to the news! Okay. Let's see, what's our first point? Okay, Bakugan Armored Elite booster boxes. This is a little bit old. This isn't exactly breaking news. Everyone's heard about it, but there have been just a couple updates, so let's run through them. If you guys weren't keeping up, Spin Master put up a listing for Bakugan Armored Elite booster boxes for $100. That's like 30-something card packs for $100. It's a great deal. And it was a really good idea because in theory it would allow people to get more cards more easily, which is something that's been vastly under-distributed with Bakugan. Unfortunately, it didn't quite go according to plan. Because the UPC for an entire booster box was the same UPC as the individual booster packs, because they didn't plan originally to distribute them this way, they ended up sending out only single booster packs from Amazon. This is obviously a bit of a big mistake on both Spin Master and Amazon, because on one hand, Spin Master didn't put the correct UPC on the undersides of the boxes so that they would not be, mistaken this way, and at the same time, Amazon probably should have, been a little bit smarter, but I don't know. It just ended up being kind of hilarious and ridiculous. But there are a few things that one needs to remember in situations like this. Well, there was a lot of, before that, there was a lot of, unpleasant reactions to this. People were hit with skepticism, distrust. Some people were doing cool poses, or, that's supposed to say cool, whatever. But ultimately, this sucks. It's not good. It's very bad, and of course, I understand all of the negative emotions involved in this. There's not really any good way to defend it. However, I will say this was a good thing gone bad. This is a good idea that didn't work out. Why is it a good idea? Because, Bakugan... Bakugan friggin'... Obviously, the TCG has not been well distributed around the world, and it's been very difficult for a lot of people to get into and a lot of people to stay into because of how difficult it has been to get TCG stuff. They had obviously planned a lot of stuff for 2020. They were going to be pushing the TCG through 2020 in a lot of ways that weren't necessarily selling boxes. They didn't plan to sell boxes, but they were planning to put stuff in stores, get LGS support, start doing, tournaments and competition stuff, as well as a bunch of conventions. But all of those plans got thrown under the bus when COVID hit. Spin Master got kicked out of their offices. They weren't able to, be at their places of work. The whole supply chain got messed up. Everything got pushed back, and overall, it ended up being bad. So to remedy this, they tried to rush and start getting booster boxes because it is something that was being requested very strongly. They tried. They were trying to do something really, really good for the fan base. In giving us something that we had been asking for, but it was a patch onto, a wound that already existed. Because I do think they would eventually have moved into selling booster boxes, but they weren't intending to do it so soon, and as a result, that's why the booster boxes didn't have the right UPC. This is a little bit similar to what happened with Age of Arliss, where Resurgence ended up having a bunch of issues because the stuff got out into stores way too soon, so they put an embargo on Age of Arliss to try to keep it from being released too soon, and then that ended up being messed up and the embargo ended up staying, and then when they received orders, a bunch of more Resurgence got sent out and Age of Arliss never got distributed. But it was a good idea. It's really a shame when something that is supposed to be a patch for an issue ends up pushing things even more in the other direction. Rushed things are way more likely to fail, and that's what this is an example of. This was a rushed project. They tried to crunch to get this out to the fans as fast as possible, but because that's what everyone was asking for, and everyone was like, just give it to us, just make booster boxes. And sometimes this is what happens when you rush as a company, because there's so many small things that need to hit just right. Or it can end up, messing up in whether it's some simple way, or, something. If the only way to keep things from ever going wrong is to take things slow, which is what Spin Master usually tries to do. A solution is maybe coming? Maybe. They said that they were working on something. They said they were talking to Amazon. No one is really quite sure yet what Spin Master is going to do about this. Everyone in the chat is thankfully telling me that the listing did get taken down. I figured it would be. But only like one person ended up getting their booster packs. Like I think Spin Master directly reached out and helped out one of the first people to put in a complaint about the issue. And it's not enough so far. And maybe with Fusion Force boxes allegedly being available sometime soon, maybe that's what's gonna happen, but I don't know. At the very least, once the faction bundles come out, that should be a way for some people to get more AV, but hopefully they put up the listing and do it correctly this time. It is going to be very difficult for Spin Master to regain the trust that they have lost here, and I fully understand why so many people in the fandom were like, okay, I can't deal with this. It's really difficult for Spin Master to get back and to recover from such a massive issue, but I think it's possible. It is important to support these efforts, because even though this went very poorly, obviously, it was a great idea, and they were trying to do it for the obvious benefit of the fan base. So, if you're gonna stick with Bakugan, I'm obviously sticking with Bakugan. It's just taking Spin Master a long time to figure themselves out, and COVID has made the whole issue seem way worse than it should have. Because gosh, there was so much stuff planned for this year that just didn't end up going through, that didn't work out in any way. And that's made all of the other things that Spin Master isn't doing seem worse. Issues with balance in the TCG seems worse, and this booster box issue seems worse, and everything seems worse because we're not getting anything else. No one is able to go in and no one's able to play Bakugan for real right now. No one is able to, get the cards that they want to get. No one's able to build decks because nothing is out. So it's been so slow that it makes sense that people are getting more and more disheartened with the brand. I get it, obviously. Because when you have a TCG without the foundation of being able to play said TCG, because ultimately, that is the best thing with Bakugan. The TCG is fun to play. There's some issues, meta-wise, and with the highest competitive stuff, it can get a little bit, too flatlined. But ultimately, it's a ridiculously fun game to play in person with people, rolling the marbles, doing real strategies, and that is what no one has been able to get. No one's been able to meet up with their friends. No one's been able to talk to each other. No one's been able to hang out and play the game. But literally, a few weeks ago, I did manage to sit down. I sat down with Greg and Raul from the Nerdy Friends and Pyrus Queen when I visited San Antonio, and we played some Bakugan games, and holy cow, I had some of the most fun I have had since the quarantine started. It's still going to be difficult because it's hard to justify meetups right now, and if you are going to meet up, please be as safe as possible. Wear a mask, distance yourself however much you can, wash your hands, avoid touching other people's stuff. But gosh, the online brawls and Untap just are not the right patches that we need. But ultimately, I just hope that people can stick with it and you know, do whatever they can for Bakugan as we get through this very difficult time. But for something completely different from that, and on a much more positive, interesting note, the 1 in 500 Dragonoids and Dragonoid threats are everywhere. Like, at least it seems like they're everywhere. I actually reached out to the very first person to find a Dragonoid threat in public in a store. His name was Ultimate Edgy Trash, or Douglas Noodle, he also goes by. He's a New Yorker in Upper New York, and was found in an Upper New York Target somewhere near Buffalo, placed behind a random Aurelus Pegatrix. And since he found that item, they have been popping up everywhere. If you don't know what the Dragonoid exclusive and Dragonoid Treacherous are, they are exclusive 1 in 500 Bakugan. So, there is only 500 Bakugan, there's only 500 items of each of these Bakugan produced, and those are the only ones that will ever be produced. And they're popping up all over the US. They are being hand distributed by Spin Master employees, by Spin Master distributors. We're assuming that Spin Master is directly sending these to the distributors, and then distributors are going out in their area, these are Spin Master employees, and by hand placing them on store shelves. The Dragonoid that you see here is found in Targets, and the other one, the Dragonoid Treacherous, is found in Walmarts. They are going to be incredibly difficult to find, but they're being distributed relatively evenly over the US. We don't know exactly what even distribution means. We don't know if it's based on population, based on what kinds of sales different areas get, or if it's as simple as, you know, every state getting 20 of all of these. But a bunch of them have been found in Texas, a bunch of them have been found in LA, a bunch of them have been found in Florida. In fact, if you'll excuse me for just a moment. Let me switch to the other thing really quick. Boom! Bazinga! Dragonoid Treacherous. We managed to find one. Me and Connor and Poppy Rose of the JettKuso. We went out hunting. We used some educated guesses, and we managed to find this beautiful, beautiful Bakugan on a Walmart shelf. I've got the whole thing on video. I promise it's not fake. Spin Master did not send this to us. We did genuinely find it on the store shelf. And I would encourage everyone to go out on the hunt as well. There have been a few resources that have actually made the hunt a lot easier and a lot more educated for a lot of people. Specifically, this spreadsheet made by Wonton from Wonton's Watchbox. He is keeping track of, like, every single Dragonoid Treacherous that is being found and posted online to great effect. It's actually been a lot of help to us in figuring out, like, what areas are good to search in. You know, if you've got other people in your area, other people in your state, you know, check this. There is a link already in the description of this live stream that will show you that'll link you to this spreadsheet. He's updating it as long as things are posted. You know, there's obviously going to be some that remain completely unaccounted for. You know, we've only found we only have like 80 something accounted for right now, and the others are, you know, who knows where those are. But, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of them that are just going to end up in the hands of, you know, young children, which is good. I want people to have new stuff. You know, we've even gotten someone new in our group who managed to find one. He's getting way more into Bakugan as a result of finding something super rare. Ultimately, I think it's a really good idea. No one's opened them yet because they're, you know, it's a very frightening thing to open because they're like ridiculously good and ridiculously valuable. But if you do find one and you do want to open it, you'll want to use this little perforated backing so you can get in there without damaging the beautiful, beautiful package. It's all shiny, it's all sparkly, and there's allegedly some kind of like a certificate of authenticity inside. Not like anyone could ever make one of these fake. I'm sure the bootleggers will do their best. Yes, Magna Ingram says 80 accounted for, so 420 remaining. Nice. Oh, someone on Reddit did open one of them. Ooh, that's cool. Thanks for giving me that little bit of info, Ethan. I'll have to like take a look at that and see what that. I probably am going to open this. Like, I wonder if anyone else is going to look at that shine. I wonder if anyone else is going to manage to get their hands on one of these enough to, like, if any Baku masters are going to find one and do an unboxing. I'm certainly not going to unbox it on this glitchy live stream, but we'll see. Let's see, what else do we got here? Okay, just a little bit of remaining news before we wrap up and move on to what I have planned next. Allegedly, Fusion Force boxes are going to be released in September. Ventus Knight posted a tweet saying, like, hey, you know, reach out to your LGS stores. Fusion Force boxes available in September. Now, is that another Amazon listing? I don't know. It hasn't come out yet. Are they going to start getting distributed to stores? I don't know. No one's found them yet. I have no idea. But I would imagine, like, at the very least, if an LGS gets set up, they'll probably be able to get Fusion Force boxes. So a little while ago, this is old news, but I want to put it in here anyway, just to clear up some mistakes. There was an Australian listing for the Champions of Vestroia Bakugan video game that listed in its ratings that the game contained microtransactions. This was very soon cleared up by Spin Master, who said, no, the game doesn't, the game doesn't have microtransactions in it. This is... MStub says, I can confirm stuff will be available in September per my LGS. Okay, so allegedly that means if you've got LGS support, you know, if your place is getting Bakugan stuff, you'll be able to order Fusion Force boxes in September, which is, it's about time. But yeah, no microtransactions in Champions of Vestroia, thank goodness. At least, I already covered that bit of news. Yeah, one guy did get his AV booster packs direct from Spin Master customer service, but no one else who put in their orders have managed to get the issue cleared up, unfortunately. I do know LGS support is going to be coming to Multiverse Games and Shenanigans Gaming in San Antonio. Pyrus Queen and the Nerdy Friends frequent those locations, so, you know, if you want Bakugan stuff, they're going to be getting stuff soon. And apparently also MStubs Mulligans. Where do you live, MStubs? You're going to have to tell me that. Like, you're not like your home address, but like your city, so that people know where Mulligans is. Mulligans is going to be getting stuff. Hey! Jake Ilinook is in the chat. Welcome to my live stream. It's nice to see a little check mark there in the chat. That's fun. Where's my check mark? YouTube. Nerdy Friends Dabs. TCF says MStubs is in Tennessee. Is that Tennessee? I think that's Tennessee. Cool. So Mulligan's in Tennessee. Check it out. They're going to be getting Bakugan stuff too. hopefully a shop, you know, here in Fort Worth or the DFW area. We're looking into it. We're gonna try to get an LGS with some Bakugan stuff in it. What else? And oh yeah, so last things last. There's some weird starter deck issues. This is not a widespread thing, but I'll be going over that. Let me grab this. And let's go ahead and move on from the Vestroia Bulletin. That was my news show. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know, we're gonna be doing another week. Mulligan's in Johnson City, Tennessee. Okay, thank you, VarronOoC. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot. We're gonna be doing these every other week. So every other Sunday, I'm gonna be covering all of the news from the previous couple weeks, and that's going to be, I think, very, very fun for everyone. Let's see. Okay, yeah, weird starter deck issues. Case in point, this right here. Oh man, I've not even been on the. Oh no, I've not been on my news screen. Oh dear, because I've been looking at the PowerPoint and not at OBS. Yeah, this is all the stuff that I've been talking about. It probably seems like I've just been staring at my screen and reading notes. That's fine, whatever. Yeah, this is the stuff that was supposed to have been popping up on the screen for a while now. Yeah. So, let's go ahead and move on. Let's get on with the rest of the stream. We're gonna be unboxing. I'm gonna be chatting with the chat. And no, Pirates Queen, this is the same one that I got from you. We're gonna be chatting with the chat. We're gonna be hanging out. Stay tuned. But in the meantime, here's a video of some monkeys. Okay, hello, welcome back to my live stream. Let's get some music going. Alrighty. I think this should be a new camera setup, yeah. I'm working out the kinks. This is all very new. Oh, I need to turn. Which one of these is this? One second. Okay, there we go. Alright, okay. Okay, let's do a little bit of unboxing stuff here really quick while I've got you all here. We're gonna be taking a look at two things here on the stream. Oh, come on, capture card. We're gonna be looking at this. There we go. This, which is a defective Shields of Vestroia starter deck. It is the Darkest Enoch starter deck from Shields of Vestroia, but for some reason, it was packaged with a Ventus Batrix for really no good reason. On top of that, we're also going to be opening something that I'm very excited to look at, which is this Shields of Vestroia Pyrus Darkus starter deck. Let's see if I can get any more light on this. Is that any better? Come on. I bought some really cheap capture cards. There we go. Yeah, there's a bit more light on it. Yeah, Shields of Vestroia Pyrus Darkus starter deck. I need scissors. Hang on. Don't run with scissors like I just did. Yeah, every time I bump my capture card, the camera turns off. So I'm probably not going to run through the cards on this one too much, but I do want to show you. It is, at least, oh, I opened this for my thumbnail, actually. Crap. I don't even need the scissors, actually. I've already pre-sliced the tape. But yeah, this is an Enoch Darkus starter deck that for some reason came with a Ventus Batrix. And I have with the rest of it, we have a Cloptor Apollyon, a Pegatrix Gillator, and of course, the Darkus Enoch character card. I don't even get a character card for the Batrix, only the Enoch. Yay! That's fine. The main stuff I really want to look at is going to be the cards in the other starter deck. But let's check this out really quick. Let's just glance through, because I'm sure some of the people in my audience have not seen these Shields of Vestroia starter decks yet, but they are starting to pop up all over the place in Target stores, in the US at least. I apologize again for all of the lag. I should have included that in my list of things to expect from the Vestroia Bulletin. But this isn't the Vestroia Bulletin anymore. This is just me doing a live stream and hanging out with everyone. The news segment is concluded. So, let's see what we got. Card 1, Bakugan Overdrive. We got 2. Next card, Shield Breaker. Righteous Strike. Baku Fetch. Fast Fusion Ray. These are all Shields of Vestroia cards. Baku Roll. Another Baku Roll. Eviscerator Strike. 2 of those. Scarf Strike. This is Cubbo attacking a Cycloid with his scarf in very much like Kyokai no Kanana Beyond the Boundary-esque fashion. 2 of those. How's the stream going? Okay. Energy Funnel. 2 of those. Fast Fusion Ray. Oh, another Fast Fusion Ray. Looks like we got 2 of those, not just 1. Darkest Dread. Monstrous Surge. Crushing Shadows. A flip, Creeping Darkness. Now these are interesting because it stop a non-fusion Bakugan if you do choose a player to discard a card. That's too expensive. 4 cost. Jeez. Okay. Lord Bracken, which is a character from, I guess, the second half of Bakugan Battle Planets, which I haven't watched. Throw anything. This is a great bit of card art featuring this guy. What's this character? Artulian throwing a Cubbo-themed billboard. 2 of those. Darkest Dread, another Darkest Dread. Oh, it's weird. They're not all even next to each other. Divine Wall, a Stop Chaos or a Fusion Bakugan. Now that's nice because it's only 1 cost, which is really what all fusions should cost. But it's really limited, especially because it only works if Bakugan are fused, which they're not going to be. Stand Strong. This is similar to the Darkest Flip, which is stop a non-fusion Bakugan. 4 costs, and you get to put it into your hand if you do. Creeping Aura again. We got no. Don't go to that song. Oh, I need to put that to loop. Figuring it out. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me as I as I figure out how to stream. Yeah, Energy Vortex. This is a Baku Gear card. Now, this is what I really want to talk about. The shield icon on some shields of Vestroia Battle Gear, Baku Gear. The way the shield icon works is if you are flipping this, if you're taking damage and you flip this card over, it takes an extra point of damage for every number on the shield icon. So this is kind of takes place of some of the flips, which is, thank goodness. So this card, if you flip it as you're taking damage, would take 3 points of damage off the total. So if you are getting 3 damage from an attack, and you get this card, just, you only have to take 1 card of damage, but it counts for 3 points, which is a very, very cool mechanic, and I think could potentially fix a lot of issues with milling. Only 1 of those. Then we got Fusion Confusion, the Ventus version of the Stop Fusion Bakugan and Ventus. A wonderful Evo that I'll never get to use. I do own an Enoch, thank goodness. But it's Maximus Enoch Ultra, 5 cost. This gets 10 damage if you have a Fusion Bakugan on your team. Very, very niche. I don't know. Rainbow Sparkle Cannon of Doom. You might think I'm making that up, but I'm not. I kind of wish I was, but no. That is canon with a Cubbo with a Rainbow Sparkle Cannon of Doom. 1 shield cost, nothing more needs to be said. And then Ventus Knight in his Goth phase, Darkest Knight. If another card causes you to reveal this from your hand, give a Bakugan +2 damage and 1 shield rating, which is good. I really like the shield rating cards. I think it is a really, really cool mechanic. Let's get that bundled up. Let's see. I'm not going to bother rolling these out because I don't like the attributes very much. This one is Kloptor Apollyon, which I am very happy is something that exists. Oh, come on, focus. Come on, you can do it. Come on. There, oops, whatever. Yeah, oh, come on, what's wrong with you? That's so weird. It's not focusing. Whatever. Yeah, Kloptor Apollyon, which is a Bakugan that is... there we go. A long time in the making, because Apollyon never got a Bakugan form back in the day. Only Kloptor did. So this is the closest thing we've gotten to an Apollyon Bakugan. You can see his little skull shield there on the side, and that is a Chaos Pyrus Bakugan. I am going to be rolling some stuff here in a second as well. So if you want to see rolling. Then we got Chaos Ventus. Pegillator. Pegatrix Gillator. which I think is very cool, because you could actually call it an alicorn, and it's still a pun. Let's do... I want to change the camera angle a little bit here. So that you guys can see some cool rolling. There we go. There's a camera angle. Okay. Let's open up this one, this other Pyrus Darkus starter deck. I think this one has rapid fire support in it. Thank goodness. So, I've got Aurelus Hyderus, which I don't know if it's any good or not. And then a Pyrus Darkus, and as you'll soon see, a Darkus Bakugan, which may sound ridiculous, but it is a non-dual faction fusion, and I'm very excited to see how it looks and how it comes out. We'll set that aside. I hope you guys are ready for some really gross noises. I'll look at the cards here in a second. I'll just open them up and have them ready. But let's look at some Bakugan. It's been too long since we've seen a Bakugan, right? So, first up, let's do the Hyderus, because I care about him the least. Because it's an Aurelus. And Aurelus are okay, but they're not my favorite, that's for sure. There you go. Aurelus Hyderus. Ultra. His stats are 600 B power, 4 damage, shield helix. Pretty substandard, unfortunately, but I do love Age of Aurelus, Age of Armor Alliance Aurelus Bakugan for the beautiful, beautiful shiny gold coloration. Alright. Next up, we have this. A beautiful Pyrus Darkus Bakugan, which is much, much more exciting. Come on. There we go. Pyrus Darkus. It seems like Pyrus is its main attribute. Darkus is its secondary. You can tell because it's using the purples as the secondary color. At least I think that lets you tell. Let's see what we got. Alright. Ooh, fun stand. Okay, this is Cindius and Scorpiros. So it is a sort of a knight combined with a scorpion. I'm really curious to see what the monster form on that looks like from the card. I bet it looks really, really cool. Let's roll them out one more time really quick. We're just hanging out now. Oh, it's hard to close. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's give him another roll. There we go. I love that. So his card, unfused. Only 300 B power. Rough, rough, rough. Helix, shield, though it is only a 2 energy fusion, which ain't too bad. You fuse him, he's got 700 B power, and 7 damage. So, I'm actually disappointed to see that it doesn't look like he looks like a centaur scorpion knight. He just looks like, oh gosh, he looks kind of like, what was the one, like, legendary warrior of Vestroia who is Pyrus Darkus in the original series? He looks a lot like that, actually, at least in his color scheme. I guess he does have the cool scorpion tail, which I like. It'd be very sad if that wasn't on there. Ah, yeah, Pyrus Queen. She just said in the chat the color scheme reminds me of Drummond? I forget how to pronounce it, from the Legacy series. Yeah, when the Pyrus and Darkus worlds were emerging. Yeah, I was literally referencing the same thing at the same time. That's so cool. Yeah, I love this. This is like easily like the best part about this whole starter deck, if you ask me. I love that. Let's put that to the side, and let's roll out our next contender, which is a very interesting and unique creature. There we go. This is Nilius Enoch, and it is a fusion, but it is a darkest fusion. I'm just gonna skip straight to the fusion side when I show you this card. 900 B power, 2 darkest symbols. Darkest. It's really funny because it's just a darkest Bakugan. It doesn't need to say darkest, because it's not like some people asked. I think some of the Brawler Cafe folks had asked if this counts like on Rite of Darkness or Rite of Darkest, like on cards that count how many darkest Bakugan you have on your team. Does this count as 2 darkest Bakugan? Needless to say, it does not. This still only counts as 1 darkest Bakugan. So you can't make people discard extra cards, because that would get crazy. Because then if they made more of them like this, and you could get like 2 darkest Bakugan on your team, suddenly you can pay like 5 energy and make your opponent discard what friggin' 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, which would be amazing, but broken. I love the design. Doesn't he look awesome? It's Nilius and Enoch, and it really has a great look to it. Yeah, darkest plus darkest equals even more darkest. Redundancy, says Chaos Magna Ingram. I love the design. I really like it. It's a 4 energy fusion. It is only 500 base, 2 damage, shield, fire fist, and you evo, and you get, or you fuse, and you get 907, which is going to be good if you've got a magic shield on your team. Like if you've got the 800 magic shield, that's that's a 1700 Bakugan for a cost. It's not awful, but you got to deal with a 500 B power Bakugan for a really long time. Unless you can cheat out the energy, you know? Ooh, easy to close. I like that. I like to see it. And it feels really sturdy. I like the way a lot of the fusions feel in their closed forms. It's really neat. Let's give him another roll. I'll get into the cards here in just a second. Oh no! JettKuso missed a roll! There we go. I really dig it. These are 2 really incredible looking Bakugan. This one in color palette and in a tail design, and Enoch just in his Enoch Nilius just in his whole form. I think it looks really sweet. Let's take a look at what kind of cards we get from this pack, because I have taken a look at these cards, and some of them I'm really into, because it looks like Rapid Fire might finally be getting some of the support that it needs. And I've actually already tested a few of these cards. I made an untapped deck with some of the Shields of Vestroia cards in them. Ooh, sticky. Cards are very stuck together. Okay, let's see if there's any way to get this camera so you can really see this stuff as I'm seeing it. Let's get it aimed upward. Bear with me. This is going to make this a lot easier to look at. Yes! Ascend! There we go. Boom. Oh, yes! Yes! Evil! Okay, well, whatever. There we go. Now we're cooking with Bakugan. Okay, now I can read it. And you can read it. Meteor Storm, 3 cost. Pyrus Darkus, plus 1 damage, draw 1. Blech. Damage cards don't do much. Pyrus Darkus Pulverizer. This is a rapid fire card. So it is plus 5 damage, return this to your hand, and then rapid fire, it's free if you play it off another rapid fire card. But ultimately, it's only a damage buff, and it isn't cheap enough to enable any other better rapid fire card, so, you know, blech. Reality Ripper, which I think features this Cloptor Apollyon in, looks like Darkus Ventus? Crazy. Or maybe that's Darkus Chaos? I can't really tell. But it's a super rare. Choose a player to discard a card for each Fusion Bakugan on your team. So, that's... And you only get 10 damage. That's not awful. If you're running 3 fusions, that's like as good as Rite of Darkness. Or is Rite of Darkness 4 cost? I don't know. Is anyone still watching? Yeah, people are still watching. Thank goodness. Flames of Ambition. It's giving us all of the rare cards right here at the top. 3 damage and then 3 damage for each Fusion Bakugan on your team, which if you're running 3 fusions, you know, that's actually a crazy good damage buff, but it's a damage buff. Now this is a much talked about card. Pyro Storm. It is an R-less card. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. You may put up to 1 action card, Bakugan card, Evo card, and Hero card revealed this way into your hand for only 2 cost. You put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So, what to even say about that? Good grief. Oh, man. A lot of people are really scared of this card because they're saying, well, it's obviously a 2 energy draw 4. But it's only a 2 energy... It's very, very unlikely for it to end up being a 2 energy draw 4. Because it's only a 2 energy draw 4 if you pull, in 4 cards, an action card, Bakugan card, Evo card, and Hero card in the same 4 cards. And that is very, very, very unlikely to happen. I don't know if there's some other factor with this that makes it, like, better than something else. But I think it seems like an okay balanced thing. But, you know, I have bad opinions sometimes, so what do I know? Darkest Scion. Now, here's a good rapid fire card. It's about time rapid fire got at least a decent B power buff. Because it is just a rapid fire plus 700 B power, and that is a long time coming. Stinging Web Stare. That's a really cool design. That looks like, what is that? Batrix Webum? Enoch Webum? No, this is the Garganoid Webum, I think, that comes with the Baku Clip. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting my hands on one of those soon. That's 200, 6 damage. Ah, man, a lot of these things are really just too damage focused. Not enough B power. Never enough B power. Meteor Storm. 3 energy. 4. Or where do you look at that one? Darkest Glare. If you place in a Fusion Bakugan, -8 energy. Now, I don't know if that means played on a fused Bakugan or just a Fusion Bakugan. And I don't know if it means if you play it on if your Bakugan is a fusion or if your opponent's Bakugan is a fusion. I'm really curious what the rulings on those are. Yeah, TCF brings up, assuming an even split of cards with Pyro Storm, your chances are 3 in 4 chance of getting 1 card, 1 in 2 chances of getting 2 cards, and 1 in 4 chances to getting 4 cards all in one draw. That's if you're running an even split of all of those cards, which most decks are not going to be running a perfectly even split. Right. It is still really strong. I'm not saying it's not a strong card. I just don't think it's broken. I think calling it a 2-cost draw 4 is very misrepresentative of how it actually plays, because it's not really it's not really that simple as designing a 2-cost draw 4. If it was a 2-cost draw 4, but it's just unlikely. Throw anything again. Ooh, do both of these decks come with throw anything? This is the deck from earlier again. Yeah, this also comes with throw anything. I don't know if that's a fluke or if that's supposed to be that, but yeah. 2-cost 400 Shadow Strike. Shadow Strike. Trailing Dragon. Energizes from your hand, and you may pay 2 to draw 1. So this is a really... I find this to be a very interesting card mechanic. There's one for each attribute in the new set. Oh, did I... Oh, I see. Oh, TCF was... I misread what TCF was saying. It's a multiply symbol. So he's saying it's guaranteed 1 card. If you've got an even split, it's guaranteed 1 card, strong chance you'll hit 2 cards, and a decent chance to hit 3 cards. It's very likely if you have an even split, you'll get 1 of each. If you've got an even split. Okay. Okay, thank you for the clarification, TCF. I was very confused. Yeah, Chaos Magnet Ingram points out that one of the other strengths is that it searches 4 cards deep, which is good, because that is true, because it does allow you to, at the very least, get some of those cards in hand, because even if you only ever get an action card in there, you still get to search 4 deep and then put that action card into your hand. That's a good point. That does make it a lot better. Volatile Instincts, this is that same mechanic as Trailing Dragon, where you can energize it in your hand, and then pay 2 to draw 1. It's really such a strange mechanic. Because it only works if you, energize it either with a Ventus card or at the start of the turn. But I kind of wonder how that would actually, play in the game. Are you going to... are you going to get this in your hand and go okay, I'm going to energize this. And then you tell your opponent, I just energized the Volatile Instincts. So I get an extra bonus. Because you energize cards face down, you don't reveal them before facing it down, but would you put it as if you're playing it, and then you energize it face down? That's really strange. Ren says that the card art improves every set. That is absolutely true. The card art in this set is some of the most beautiful we've got so far. 4 cost, 10 damage, Darkest Glare again. Malham! That's a weird guy. He's when you fuse a Bakugan, give a Bakugan 200 beat power and 2 damage. 1 cost hero. That might be good for the really cheap early game fusions. But, I guess if you're... I don't know, that's a strange... It's a strange card. The when you fuse cards are very strange. I guess they work with Pyrus Fuser. But... I guess if you... I don't know. Mega Pyrus, 0 cost, 5 damage on a fusion. Energy Sphere. Now here's another good rapid fire card. At last, oh hey, SheVitus says, hey, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling a lot better, having gotten past the worst of the technical difficulties. Yay! Again, thank you to everyone who stuck around early on, back when the technical difficulties were absurd and ridiculous. So this is an incredible rapid fire enabler. I love this because it's not just a rapid fire enabler. It's a 1 cost reroll. This is way better than the damage buffing rapid fire enablers, like the 1 cost 3 damage rapid fire card, because at the very least it gives you a reroll option, which is always really, really good. And especially if you play this, I don't know, I love Energy Sphere. This is one of the best new cards to come out. This improves Rapid Fire so much. Here's that Stop Darkus, or a Fusion Bakugan 1 cost for Darkus, featuring the Magnus of anime right there on the front with a whole bunch of knives. That's terrifying, right? Golden Wall, stop a non-fusion Bakugan. 3. Now, I still don't know. Can anyone tell me, is this a non-fused Bakugan or a non-fusion Bakugan? I'm not really sure. Burning Cloud. Stop a non-F Bakugan if you do make a Pyrus attack for 2 damage. I always love to see burn effects. I love burn. It's one of my favorite mechanics. 2 of those. And now we get into the shield cards again. Burn Cutter. I read that as like burn butter or something. Butter Cutter. Make sure you got a quality butter cutter if you're going to be playing Bakugan. This is a 1 shield rating card. If you missed what that means, it means this card counts as 2 points of damage when you're milling cards. 2 of those. Lava Blade, another decent rapid fire card. It might be 5 cost, but it has 2 shield rating, and it's rapid fire. Rapid fire is always great. So this works good in your deck to make your deck basically have more health than just 40 cards. And you can, if you do get it in hand, you can probably give your Bakugan just that little bit of buff using your rapid fire enablers. Another weapons. It's so weird that the cards are so like scrambled up in here. Titan Hydrus Ultra. Opposing Bakugan or opposing player has reduced damage with armor rating this turn. You may play this for, what is that? Oh, if an opposing player has reduced damage with an armor rating this turn, you may play this for free. So if your opponent does mill, like, at the end of turn, like if you win a battle and your opponent happens to mill a shield rating card, then you get to play this for free. I guess that's okay. The Nilius Enoch Diamond. So this is one of those fusion diamonds, which is so gross. So as you can see, the art here shows the fused side. So that means that in order to play this Evo, you have to pay 4 energy, flip over your fusion, then at some other pointer in the same turn pay 5 energy to play this Diamond Fusion Evo on top of it to get 1200 Bs, which is not really good at all. And more shield ratings. 1 cost shield rating on Unholy Bow. Pretty basic aside from that. And then Aurelian Accelerator. 400B, 4 damage. 6 cost, 4 shield rating. I love it. This is gonna be so good in like gear cheese decks maybe. I mean, it's not like a great gear, but it's a 5... This takes 5 points of damage to mill. That's so good. Or at least it will soak up 5 points of damage. Like, here's the downside. Like, if you only take an attack for 2 damage and you mill this, it will soak up that 2 damage attack, but it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna, like, stay there floating and then soak up 2 more damage or 3 more damage after that. Yes, the Diamond Fusions thing is, I believe, a Gary's confirmed thing. Chaos Magnet Mask, if that is how it works. I believe that is confused. I think Brawler Cafe Toolbox got that info directly from Gary at some point. But even then it makes sense, because an Evo is decided based on what the card in Evo's from, is decided based on this little character art window, and since it is the fusion side, and since it is Nilius X Enoch, it only evolves from the fusion side. Pretty sure that's accurate. If I'm wrong, let me know and I'll post a correction. Core-wise, we got a plus 300. a 300 plus Frost Strike if you're fused, a 300 plus 4 if you're fused, which is almost as good as a plus 8, and a little bit less risky, plus 1 Frost Strike, and a minus 100 shield. For the previous starter deck, we get, yeah, Chaos Magnet Ingram says that's absolutely ridiculous in reference to the Evo mechanic. I agree, it's terrible. That's why I don't even get into it in my Fusion video, because it's a really bad mechanic and it's never ever going to see play. It would have to be incredibly good to be worth it. In the other deck we got a 400 2-gear reduction Magic Shield, which is just a waste of a Magic Shield, unfortunately. 200 shield, 1 damage, 5 damage Green Fist if you're fused, which is interesting. A minus 2 gear reduction. TCF knows. Alright, no, it's friggin', I don't know who came up with the deck, but I know Greg played a Gear Cheese deck against me, and it was so ridiculous. And then a gorgeous plus 8 Fire Fist. Powerful. Incredibly powerful. I like it. While I'm here in the nice camera angle, I'll show off the Drago Trat real quick before I get out of here. Can it focus that close? No, that's as close as it can get. Look at that, boy. Shiny back, perforated. I love it. Okay, so TCF and Greg both do Gear Cheese. TCF says that he did it first. Sure. I don't see why not. Okay, now we're just hanging out. That is all the specifics that I had planned. This is gonna be quite the mess for me to clean up here after I'm done. But let's just roll some Bakugan while I got you here. Let's roll some Bakugan and let's chat. I want to get another song going for chatting though, because I'm sick of this one. I'm sick of it. Let's see. You're all getting a nice shot of my arm. I hope you're enjoying. JettKuso's arm cam. Pause that. I think this is what I'm looking for. Toss it in my playlist. There we go. Chill music. Hanging out music. Alright. Let's close this Apollyon and actually give him a roll. I didn't really give it much attention. The Chaos Pyrus Apollyon Cloptor. Oh, his ball form's really loose. Unfortunately. It's really squishy. I don't know if that's my fault, or the manufacturer's fault, or a design fault, or just a fluke, or whatever. Let's give it a roll. Nope, I wasn't paying any attention. I was looking completely the other direction. Okay. There it is. I like it. At first I thought this was Syndius, because of the little Syndius-y sword, which is different on this. It's just this little panel on the Syndius Scorpios. A little green. A little bit of a sword. Chaos Magnet Ingram wants me to play He Growls by Bad Analogy. That's a terrible band. I just can't listen to their music. And if you haven't heard of Bad Analogy, don't look up Bad Analogy. Absolutely don't. You'll get no joy from it whatsoever. No, I was way too close. I'm so out of practice on rolling. Let's just set up 4 cores. And I'm going to open all of the new Bakugan. And that'll probably be our little finale. But you guys, while you're here, feel free to ask questions. Is there anything you want to know? If there's anything that you guys want to see from future episodes of the Vestroia Bulletin, I'd be more than happy for feedback. I know this whole thing was a tad bit of a mess, but it's probably okay. It's fine. It'll be fine. Let's do... I'll go in order of... I'll roll these in order of how much I like them. So... I do like the design for Pegalator quite a lot. Okay, that's one. Do Hyderus. S2. Oh, I double cored. I need that core sitting there, though. Let's do Apollyon. No, I broke my streak. Crap. Apollyon's hard to roll, actually. This is actually... at least this version is very floppy. He really goes all over the place. This is the only guy I've had trouble with the whole stream. That's a shame. Oh, yeah, because his feet are popping out and they keep pushing it to the side. I have to roll him faster. What do I think of double coring? I don't think double coring is a consistent mechanic because I think unless your hide matrix setup is ridiculously good, it's way too easy for your opponent to like mess up a double core. I mean, I like it. I do think you can do it. I don't think it's consistent yet. I haven't seen anyone get it to a consistent place. It's possible, maybe, but with the randomness of your opponent's rolling, especially if they're running ultras, I don't necessarily think it's viable. There we go. My Chaos Magnet Ingram wants to see my Surtburn deck profile. Maybe I should before it ends up being like completely invalidated by the sands of time, which is what I am now going to call power creep forever. It was good. I'm really proud of my old Surtburn deck. I think it's still decent, and I still run it because it's, you know, all I've got because we don't have any newer cards. I guess I have newer cards now. I could technically put this stuff in a deck. I could probably actually build some kind of a rapid-fire deck, thank goodness. TCF says that's because you haven't seen me play. Now, TCF, have you practiced double coring in person against an opponent? Because that's the big question. The question is not if someone can get double coring consistent on their own or consistent in video brawling. Yeah, see, Neil, M-Stub says it's consistent with the Neos Ultra. I'm not talking about the ability to consistently get a Bakugan to double core on its own. I'm talking about specifically competitive double coring. Double coring with simultaneous rolling is an entire different beast, no matter the construction of the Bakugan. Let's see. Oh, Oktar, I'll have to show the giraffe Bakugan next time. I wanted to do that in the in this episode, but it ended up going too long. I'll show off the giraffe next time because I absolutely wanna show that. I don't know what question you asked them, Stubbs. I didn't see it. Oh, have I never played against you, M-Stubs? Oh, maybe. See, the difficulty TCF is a lot of Bakugan. If you roll them fast, it makes it harder to double core. But I don't know. Or it makes it less consistent, because the aggression behind it adds an aura of chaos to it. If you ask me, anyway. Chaos Magna Ingram does bring up rerolls. I do think double coring can get consistent with rerolls, but that is a little bit of a different beast. Yeah, I have practiced double coring extensively in person against people, and it is a completely different beast than doing it on your own at home. Like it's not that difficult. It's still a skill, but it's not as difficult to get double coring consistent on your own. I'm sure we'll play someday. One of these days, we'll do a matchup. I definitely think double coring is viable in video brawls. I think double coring in video brawls is prime strat, especially for gear cheese. Cause good grief. Let's do some more casual rolls while we're hanging out. How long have I been going even? Ooh, hour and 20 minutes. Let's try to cap this at like an hour 30. Enjoying rolling. Watching the chat. Alright. I am so sleepy. But I'm gonna wrap up. Thank you guys again so much for thank you guys so much for coming by. Thank you for joining me in the stream. Thank you for dealing with the technical difficulties. I'll have to figure out what I want to do with the upload. See if I can maybe edit it down to something a little bit cleaner, but I don't know. Ultimately, I don't think it matters too much. People know that there's some difficulty with standard rolling. S.A. Oktar says, what's your favorite animal? Probably foxes. I really like foxes. M-Stubs, I am always sleepy all the time. All I can do is try to put on as much energy as I can, but it burns through, like, my energy reserves, like a star going supernova. Yeah, I am constantly sleepy. Don't question me. I don't need your sass. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming by. Hopefully you will join me in a couple weeks for the next one, which should be a whole lot smoother than this one. This one was a mess, but every time I do one of these, it's gonna get a lot better. You can be guaranteed of that. So thank you so much for watching. This is JettKuso, and I'll see you next time.